From the private studios of the Sports Super Genius, you are listening to the podcast of George, the Sports Super Genius.
Super Genius.
He's getting your views and opinions out there on the news you want to hear.
You heard him on iTunes, the World Wide Web, and YouTube. He's covered the College World Series, MLB, the NFL, and college football. Now, here's George, the Sports Super Genius.
I have to say, quite a few people made fun of me because I didn't have Penn State and I didn't have Notre Dame in my top 25. Well, all I can say to them is who's laughing now? Is now we all know just who those teams are. And this weekend, well, you know what? There's going to be some more people out there. You know, there's a big week of college football coming. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. And I have my new top 25 coming out. You know, it's already out. And once again, I think my top 25 is better than the rest. And, you know, for that reason, I'd have to say that, you know, I don't understand why some of these programs that are out there that say that theirs is the top 25 when you have teams that lost. You have teams that downright, you know, got you know what kick last weekend, like Penn State, still in a top 25. I don't understand that at all. When then you got schools like Baylor and some of these other ones. You know, Baylor ain't in mine, but you know, every school in my top 25 is undefeated. And I think that's something that has to be said, something that has to be announced. And you know, it's just it's kind of a shame when you know you're trying to be somebody and someone different, and then when you see the mainstream headlines of everything they are, and you get people like Stephen A. Smith that just openly brag, "Oh, I'm so much better than you guys. That's why I am who I am." Well, you know what? It's you ain't proven anything to me. It ain't him, but you know, it's these people like the NCAA, the AP 25. You know, you're not proving nothing to me with your hideous freaking. You know, where you go picking games like Texas. I don't know how you say Texas can be in the top 25 when they have to prove it. This week, they're playing Texas Tech. Granted, that's not a true top 25 team, but they have to play them. And if they win that game, then maybe you can put them in the top 25 or the top 10, maybe. But, you know, to say they're ranked above Oklahoma, and Oklahoma just totally destroyed, you know, Florida State last weekend. That's why people say, well, why do you have Oklahoma rated so high? Why do you have Nebraska rated so high? Because of who those teams are and what they stand for. That's exactly why. And, you know, this weekend is a very good game with Cal and Nevada. And I think you're going to see why I have Nevada rated. I actually think Nevada's going to take that game to the house. I think they're going to win it. So, again, my name's George. I'm the Sports Super Genius. And all I want to do is week in and week out is prove why my top 25 is better. Nebraska is going to Washington. I think that's going to be a very good game. I love college football. I like it. It's so much more better than the pros. Everybody in the Big 12, you know, in the Big 12 South is undefeated. I don't know when the last time that had happened. They're all, you know, Baylor, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech. They're all undefeated. And I think that is something that has to be said. And like I said, Nebraska going to Washington. I don't know the last time Nebraska made the long trip out. You know, that's going to be exciting. Stanford, you know, has got a big game this weekend. And like I said, there's so many games coming off right off the shoot. You know, Georgia is playing North Carolina. So North Carolina might have their chance. Clemson is at Auburn. You know, and like I said, to close it all out, Wake Forest is playing Stanford. Forest did not do very well on the road. But that's going to be an interesting game as well. And like I said, it all starts Friday. Actually, there's a Thursday game, but the Friday game is the one I like. But the biggest game, too, is watch out because one of the teams that I've rated, and they're finally in the top 25, the Houston Cougars finally made the national top 25. They're coming out to UCLA, and just watch out, UCLA. You're in for a long evening. Again, I'll be right back after this.
Here it is. Unbiased, pure work of genius. The Sports Super Genius 25 best football teams.
No reason to delay this. I'm going to get right into it. Okay, coming in here at number 25, brand new to my top 25, University of Maryland. 24, Boston College. 23, California. 22, Fresno. 21, East Carolina. Number 20, Florida. 19, Nevada. 18, Air Force. 17, Houston. 16, Ohio State. 15, Missouri. 14, Wisconsin. 13, USC. 12, Texas. 11, LSU. 10, Auburn. Number 9, Utah. Number 8, Oregon. Number 7, Michigan. Number 6, the University of Iowa. And now for my top 5 football teams in the nation.
The number 5 ranked team.
Dropping slightly, the University of Nebraska Cornhuskers at number 5.
The number 4 ranked team.
Coming in at number 4, another slight drop, the Boise State Broncos.
The number 3 ranked team.
Coming in at number 3, the University of Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Sooners.
The number 2 ranked team.
Coming in at number 2, the Texas Christian University Horned Frogs.
And now your nation's best team, ranked by the Sports Super Genius.
To be the man, you've got to be the man.
You know, I almost believe some of the things people were saying about Alabama, but never again, never again. All right, I will go after who I think is going to do well, and the University of Alabama proved to me to be the number 1 team again. You know, I had my doubts when they warmed up with San Jose State, but now I have to take my hat off to the boys. Without Mark Ingram, without some of the defensive players, it's just amazing what they did at Penn State. And I wanted to believe that Penn State and the Big Ten was a little bit better than that. It was a massacre. You know, Michigan State faced by beating Notre Dame, but what Alabama did to Penn State, you know, it just amazes me. You know, even though Ohio State kind of showed me up a little bit, I didn't think they were as good as everyone said they were. But, you know, they tore up Miami. But then, you know what? Maybe Miami ain't as good as people think they are. But Alabama is everything that people said from the beginning. Alabama is strong. Alabama is ready to go. I don't think they're going to have a bump in the road this year. I don't think they're going to have a bump in the road until they play in the national championship against my predicted team, the Big 12 winner, Nebraska. That's who I'm predicting. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm pretty much saying it will happen because you look at the way Nebraska plays defense and you look at the way Alabama's playing. Alabama will not be able to do what they did to Texas, and believe me, if Alabama hiccups, just like they did last year, you know, against Texas, I think Nebraska will capitalize on it because, you know, Nebraska's got way deep in quarterbacks, you know, but McElroy, you know what he did, he's undefeated. He hasn't lost a game he started, and he just went in and played Penn State just like they were nobody, like they were San Jose. You know, he's an amazing quarterback. I think he's going to be an outstanding pro quarterback. You know, and now Ingram's going to be playing this weekend against Duke. I actually think that's a mistake. I think Alabama can roll Duke up with or without their star. Well, that's my top 25. Come back next week. Send me who you think is in the top 25. My name is George, and the Sports Super Genius signing out.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Super Genius podcast. Hope to have you back as a listener. And want your opinion shared and get paid? Email them to george@thesportsupergenius.com.
Super Genius.